push-ups. I've been doing sit-ups. I've been doing chin-ups. I've been doing pull-ups. I threw up once, but I'm okay now.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, live from Myrtle Beach. It is the Power Hour. I am DJ Yoakley. Thanks for stopping in. We got two special guests. I promised you we would have them on the show. They're getting ready after their big 14-0 win earlier this afternoon. Jeff DeRose and, of course, Donnie Farron will join us momentarily. But first, we get to the same thing we do each and every day when we start. It is on this day in sports history. On this day in sports history in, 1986, so a year after I was born, Boston Celtics end their season with a 40-1 home winning record. They lose one game at home. That's called home field advantage. And why this ties in is, I'll tell you what, the South Range Raiders right now, 5-1 on the season. And they could very well run the table the rest of the way. And you look at this, they played yesterday. We talked about it on the Power Hour yesterday, playing the 20th best team in the country in Beaver, Pennsylvania. And obviously some family ties there, emotions running high for Coach DeRose. And I can tell you he didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night trying to get back up in the win column, and did it certainly today with a 14-0 victory this afternoon. The Raider bats were on fire, led pretty much right out of the gates, 3 runs in the first, and then really turned things up. It was 5-0 for a while, and all of a sudden they exploded in the 7th. Slamming Sammy Cezanne goes yaya for a 3-run shot and really puts the stake in it for South Range, and a 14-0 victory. A lot of softball last night, a lot of baseball last night on the network, and everything seems to be going as planned for Ohio moving forward. Now, it sounds like there's going to be another bit of cold weather coming in and dipping down, at least on Sunday. It sounds like it's 50 degrees, but there could be some storms on the way as well. So we're going to talk to Coach Farron, and we're going to talk to Coach DeRose about how they keep their field prepped and ready to go, and some of the challenges that they're going to face when they go back. And really, this is probably one of the reasons that they come down here, is to get a lot of softball in a small period of time. They're playing once for 5 days straight, and getting 5 games in, which I believe is the maximum that you can do away from Ohio. So we'll talk to them in just a moment. But, you know, some of the things that we want to discuss is beautiful, beautiful weather yesterday. The game's getting in, but some upsets all over the board for YSN teams. You got Lakeview beating Ursuline in baseball the other night, which I think shocked the entire system of the network. And I'll tell you what, it has been very, very good baseball, and it's anybody's. You know, when the tournament starts, I've been telling, Coach Niddle over in Canfield, we talked down here about when the tournament starts, it is going to be so much fun to watch these teams play. Got to see South Range boys last night, and, you know, when you look at what South Range has lost, and Jim Hannock has had to go through and losing those seasons, Trey Pancake, Jake Gehring, you know, guys of that stature that are playing Division I baseball and nobody giving South Range a chance. You look at that, and here comes Billy Skirpak last night throwing 13 Ks, and Billy the Kid taking over. You got Stevie Rowan, who is just utilizing every blade of turf in the Ripken Experience place. Just South Range is going to be there when it's all said and done. It's going to be interesting to see kind of how they kind of create their own legacy. You've got the Gehring era and the Pancake era, but now it's going to be the Skirpak era and guys like that. And you've got senior leadership from guys like Shorty Cormel that are going to help take this team to where they need to be. So it's going to be exciting. A whole bunch of new household names in the YSN family. So we'll get things going. We're going to bring on, come on in, boys. Come on. They're dancing to Casey and the Sunshine Band. Come on, Donnie. You can pick where you want to sit. There's Jeff DeRose and Don Farron. You just throw the headset on. Gentlemen, how are we?
Good.
You good?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm
yes,
good.
Sir.
Donnie, can you hear us?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
We're all good. All right, so Jeff DeRose here, a.k.a. Coach Spank, and then, well, you're covered up, so we gotta change
No, that's
that.
fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, we'll make sure you're covered up.
Yes, that's
It's better for everybody.
yes, it is.
And the athletic director of South Range, Mr. Don Farron. Gentlemen, congratulations on a great game today, 14-0, big victors. But you can't beat the weather down here, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's awesome. One of the reasons why we do come down here is because we're almost guaranteed 5 games. Back home, the weather is a little suspect this time of the year. So, weather on Friday is supposed to be possibly rainy today, or this week. But hopefully we'll get the game in.
Don, from your standpoint as an athletic director, this is a great trip. And you guys have been doing it for how long now?
What is this, our 11th year?
Wow. Yeah, 11 or 12.
11 or 12. It is just, it takes a load off the plate as an athletic director because you're coming down to this tournament and you know that you're going to get 5 games in this time of the year. When you're up home, you might get 1, maybe 2, and if you're lucky, 3 in a week. This time of the year is unheard of.
Well, it's also kind of a team bonding experience. And Jeff, you and I talked the other night in the truck, and that's one of the things I love most about watching. This is a family that you have created, more than a softball team. You're cooking tomorrow night for everybody. It's a tradition that started, 11 years ago? Talk about why it's so important to create those bonds with this team and why it kind of emulates, and it's a direct correspondent to what you did last year and end up in the state championship.
Yeah, it's not all about softball down here. It's team building, and I can't take all the credit for the cooking. My wife does most of the cooking.
Thanks, Lisa.
We are happy. We are happy that she does that.
Yeah, they would be happy. It's my sauce, though. I will take credit for the sauce, but she does everything else. But yeah, it's just more than softball. We come down here, we take the kids out. Like last night, we went to Broadway at the beach, did some things. The girls are spending time with their family today, but we do things all week. We have everything mapped out from Sunday to Friday, and it's more than just softball. Like I said, we want to build that team bonding thing. So
walk me through, how the dinner started that you cook. That's got to be a risk whenever a coach is cooking, but they wanted it more.
Well, I can't take all the credit for that because we used to have an assistant coach, was our scorekeeper. His name is Gene Leeson back in the day, and he used to bring sauce down. And Gene left us a few years back. So I felt the pressure because the girls said, what are we going to do about pasta night? So I took over. How long has Gene been gone? Probably 5 or 6 years. So yeah, but we've been doing this tradition, pasta night, cooking in for the kids. And like tonight, we're feeding 25 kids, a lot of coaches and spouses tonight. So tomorrow, but we're excited about it.
It's a fantastic thing. I love, and it's something you get emotional about. You take pride in that. And when you come down here, when you go on a trip as a team, as a family, there's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of rules. There's a lot of, you're teaching them how to almost live independently before they have to go away to college. You take pride in that.
I do. Like I said, it's not just about softball here. Even home, it's all about life lessons for the kids. And we try to instill good values in them. So hopefully we're doing a good job.
All right, Coach Farron, when you talk about, when you move around the way that teams do nowadays, that college, you could play anywhere in the country with some of the players that you're putting out Division I. Does this help them kind of get ready and stabilize? Having to remember what the pack and, it kind of set the example for your teammates, especially, your daughter, a junior on this team now. You've had a few that have rolled through here, and Drew was even here for a couple days. How cool is it for you as a dad and as a coach to experience something like this?
It is. It means a lot to the kids.
Yeah.
You can, you take these trips and you don't really think, oh, they're just going down there because it's a vacation.
Sure.
And, when these kids look back after they graduate and, the kids that go on and play in college and everything, they have come back to us. I remember Madison Kurtz, who's the coach at Columbiana.
Mm-hmm.
She went and played, Division II softball, and she came back to us and said, hey, can you guys plan our spring trip? Because you guys, do a lot better than what our college does. It's something that you have to make special for the kids. And, the kids, they appreciate everything you're doing. They represent South Range, to the T, how you want South Range to be known down here. You were in the press box today when the referee, the umpire, he remembered us.
Yeah.
That's stuff that you want South Range to be known as an athletic director. That's what you want. You don't want South Range known for anything negative. You want it positive. And when an umpire sees you for basically 2 days, maybe 3 days in a week, but he remembers you from 2 or 3 years ago, that tells you that you did something right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what I love about this story the most is, Jeff, you picked up the phone and you're talking to the I don't know what you call her, the director.
Yeah.
And you said, give me the best teams you have.
Yeah.
Why is that so important to you?
It's important because that's what makes you better. I mean, I was just talking to Donnie, I think it was this morning. And, we have a tough schedule down here. We're playing great teams to make us better. And at the end of the month, I don't think that the schedule is a walk in the park. I mean, we're going to the Prebus Invitational. I believe one of the teams that we're playing beat the Division I state champion last year pretty darn handily.
Yeah.
Then we're playing North Canton Hoover. So it's all about getting better and ready for the tournament. It's not about wins and losses at this point.
All right, so I have to ask the question, because when you saw who you were playing down here, there was one team that stood out amongst the rest of them, I'm sure.
Yes.
Beaver, Pennsylvania. Tell us why that team stood out to you so much.
Well, Beaver, Pennsylvania is managed by my niece, who, you know how sometimes you have uncles, aunts, nieces, nephews that are distant. She's not. I talk to Amy quite often, see her at all the family functions. When I go home to see my mom every week or every other week, there's some form of communication with her. And, they won the state championship last year in, I think it was AAA in Pennsylvania. Bigger school than us, but the whole thing was when I talked to the tournament director down here, she goes, I have a team that's requesting to play you. I says, oh, yeah, who? She said, Beaver Area High School. I'm like, what day are we playing? So I'm pretty excited about that. We gave them everything we could yesterday. You take away our mistakes, then, it could have been a little bit of a different story. That they had 4 runs, only 1 was earned. We had 1 run and squandered another. So who knows what the outcome would have been, but I'm glad and happy about how our girls stood in the box. And Peyton List is a hell of a pitcher. I'm not taking anything away from her, but she only struck out 10 of our girls, and I'm sure she's used to striking out 18, 19, whatever. But
when you look at that, and we talked a little bit yesterday, Sammy Suzanne struck out 11. What does that say about the South Range program, that you're willing and able to hang with, the defending state champs in Pennsylvania, but also she's, you've got, what is Sammy, a sophomore?
She's a junior. Yeah.
That she's able to go toe-to-toe with the top recruit in 2022 class in the country.
That tells me we have better hitters than they do. So, Sam struck out 11. Peyton struck out 10. Sam only had to pitch them 6 innings, and Peyton only had pitched us 7. So Sam had 1 less inning and more strikeouts, so which was great for Sam.
She had another 3 in her.
What's that?
She had another 3 strikeouts in her.
Oh, I think so. She would have had 14.
I love it. So takeaways, I mean, obviously that you can always learn more from a loss than you do a win. What do you take away from yesterday? Obviously, you took away something, scoring 14 runs today against Louisville, not our Louisville, a different Louisville.
Yeah.
From where were they from? PA?
No, South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you take away from a game? We'll start with Donnie. What do you take away from yesterday that really greenlit the Raiders today?
I would say that our personnel, our batters, when they step in the box, they have seen the best. They have seen the best down here, and she did strike us out 10 times, but we put the ball in play against her, and we put the ball in play hard against her. They made the plays on defense yesterday they needed to, but our girls know we can play with anybody. And, that's the biggest thing. And, Jeff and I were talking, a little bit earlier and basically said, we were sluggish today, not happy about how we played today. And me being the positive person that I am.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I said, hey, we came out and scored 3 runs the first inning, and our girls put it on cruise control. That's not something that we like.
Right.
But, they did turn it on when they had to and said, okay, this team shouldn't be on the field with us. And they put up, what was it? 9
in the seventh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think just the resilience, they bounced back that first inning today and said, okay, this is what we're going to do. And we did it. And, we don't like the fact that then they did hit that cruise a little bit, but then they did kick it back into gear when they had to.
So there was a point in the game. It irritates me a little bit because families, moms, parents, dads, whoever from the bleachers, if you hit somebody, they automatically jump to conclusions and say you hit them on purpose. Now, one girl got hit twice, but in fairness, she was kind of over the plate a little bit. Even the umpire said it, so I'm not speaking out of turn. She gets hit twice. There was a moment in that game where it was getting a little chippy from their side. You took control, and I was very impressed, Jeff. And I'm not saying this just because we're on the air. I would say that to your face off there. You said, hey, let her go. Do a sub. We won't count it. We're not worried about it. What was it about that moment that you felt the need to step in and just kind of de-escalate the situation?
Well, I couldn't figure out what the coach and the umpire were talking about. Then I asked Dan Zolik, who does our scorekeeping. He said, I think that, he goes, they're out of subs because he has their lineup. And I said, do they need to re-enter somebody illegally, if you will? And he said, yeah. I said, no problem. So I called timeout, talked to the umpire. I said, no problem. Let somebody else run. I would expect the same for our team. Wins and losses are great, but they're still kids.
Yep. I was just in that moment. I was just, wow, that takes up because, okay, maybe in a scrimmage, but in a game, that doesn't happen very often.
No,
you know what I mean? It's too bad, so sad. Better luck next time.
Right.
Save a sub. But you went above and beyond, and you really showed the face of sportsmanship. And I've been around South Range for 5 years now, and being able to be honored to be able to do these games and every different sport, and that's just what you guys are about. It's the right thing for the kids, no matter what color uniform they're wearing. So kudos to you. From being in the state championship last year, when you guys look at how this year is progressing, I've heard some people compare this team right on par with the team from last year, even though you lost some big names, a Strakansky, a Kohler, the list goes on and on. How do you feel about this team and the competitiveness and what really the character of this team is?
Well,
he's pointing to you, by the way.
Yeah. That's fine. And he butt in anytime you want. But you know what? Bree's a huge loss.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a huge loss, both offensively and defensively. She had the bulk of our innings on the mound last year, but I'm very pleased with the way Sam Suzanne and Julie Stakowitz have been carrying the load. I mean, we'd probably be 5-1 if Bree was on her team this year. Yeah. So I'm very pleased. So we reloaded, and the nice thing is, I hope not too many competitive coaches are watching this right now, but we're back just as strong as we were last year.
That's impressive.
Those are 2 huge losses for a program. But what the people don't realize is you actually have 8 if you count the DP person. So we have 8 people back that played in the state finals last year. And they got a ton of valuable experience. And And those 8 kids, 9 kids that that even got in games in the tournament, they're getting they had the experience last year, and that just made them better for this year. I mean, what we play today? How many kids?
Played everybody
12?
today. We played 12 today.
kids?
Yeah, a couple freshmen came in today and did a great job. Makes me think as a coach, what am I going to do tomorrow?
Well, one thing we have to address is Pauline. We're nicknaming her the sniper.
Well, no, but you got to remember, yesterday, or no, 2 days.
2 days.
Wanted to make sure she covered every aspect of that little island there.
Then she got a standing ovation when she walked and got to first base standing up. I mean, stuff like that. It's so fun. The fans get into it. You guys get into it. Obviously, you like to have fun as coaches, but you can be serious at times. You have to go.
Yeah,
okay.
I have to go. I have to run down to the airport.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Before I go, make sure you ask them about the alligators.
Oh.
Yeah, I will. Safe travels.
Thanks, Donnie.
Safe travels, Linda.
So now that it's just you and I, we can get serious about Don Farron.
No.
Jokester.
He's a jokester, and I've said this before, and I honestly mean it, that I sit here with you, and, I talk to the other reporters from newspapers and TV, and, I'm getting a heck of a lot of credit for something else, for somebody else's work. So I'm a firm believer of surrounding yourself with coaches that are better than you are, and I think the world of Don and the way he calls the game. So,
and you guys have been friends for a long time. Were you friends first?
I met Don a long time ago when I was running the youth program. Drew was playing little coach pitch softball, and so I was running an all-star tournament, and he was coaching a team, and I was umpiring the game, and that's where I met him. And we became friends immediately. So
you two are like peanut butter and jelly. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then you add Zolik, which is like you've got marshmallow, peanut butter and jelly.
Oh yeah,
the three amigos.
Zolik's new nickname is Paw King. So yeah, he may or may not like it. I think he does.
See, he's got 2 new nicknames.
Oh
now.
yeah.
The big Puma on this side, the Polish Puma, and then the Paw King. Is that a safe story? Can we tell that?
It's a very safe story because he was saying something about parking and he forgot the R, and it was PA space King.
In a text.
Yes. So I just said, that's a good name, Paw King.
Does Lisa want to join the Power Hour? See,
no.
That's how you change. When people peek in, you just say, come on in, and then they scatter.
Well, yeah, she's the like I said, tomorrow night when we do our team dinner, I do the sauce, and I do that at home, freeze it. From this point forward, it's all on her. So
let's talk about Lisa for a minute. I mean, to be a coach's wife or a coach's spouse takes a very special person because they don't see you very much.
No, she doesn't.
Talk to me about the sacrifices that she has to make so this team, this unit can be so successful for so long.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where she likes to be in the loop, and just merely adding her to the Remind app when I'm communicating with the team was it. She understands how much I love the game.
Yep.
So, sorry.
No, you're fine, brother.
It's all good.
An emotional guy. I love Jeff DeRose. The Spanky thing will never go away. I mean, as long as I'm around, the Spanky thing will never go away. I know that it is challenging, and to be a coach and to be away from your family so much. Same with what we do, and obviously, I've got a wife and 2 kids back home, and I'm probably in the doghouse, so I've got about 3 months of making up to do. So
she's watching Power Hour just so she knows you're working, right?
Yeah, well, that's it. She's watching, rolling her eyes, and cleaning the gun, I think, at this moment. So if I come up missing after this week, please.
I'll take care of them. We're
God.
good.
Let's talk. I mean, there's not a whole lot of baseball and softball being played back home, and there's a lot of, I don't want to say turmoil, but a lot of people are saying, well, if you just turfed everything, that problem would be solved. Do you feel that's the case?
No, in fact, this year they were talking about turfing Firestone, where the state championships are, and I go to all the district meetings, and the one especially in Columbus, they were talking about turfing that field, and the vast majority, 95% of the coaches were against it because they don't play on turf. Not a lot of the schools have the money to do turf on their complexes. I playing on turf's great because you can get games in living in Northeast Ohio, but I don't like it. I like playing on a natural surface. I think it's a better game.
I promised the Paw King that I would bring up that guy over there, Spike Ball.
Oh gosh, so Paul King, he talks a lot of smack. And I'll give you a quick story. So the first day we were playing spike ball, I think we spanked them, spanking them. I want to say 21-5. So we agreed to play them again, and we went into OT. I think they beat us 25-23. So yesterday we played, had a pretty competitive game. They beat us by maybe, 7. We asked for a rematch, and they're like, no. I'm like, come on, man. It's just,
is that why they asked me to get involved?
It's just not right. I can't believe that Zolik would do something like that. I mean, he's an administrator. You think, high on the hog as far as, where you are in the school district and everything like that. And he's backing down from a challenge.
Do you think he's afraid of you?
I think he's very afraid of me.
That's interesting. I mean, we'd have to have him on and talk about it. But my room is over there. Okay. Way up high, great vantage point. And I took video and I did a little play-by-play for YSN of the spike ball and the four amigos playing. It was you, Dado, Paw King, and Donnie Farron.
Yes.
And that was the most athletic foursome I've seen in such a long time. I mean, you guys the dream team has nothing on you guys. Yeah,
they don't have anything on us. In fact, you know what? Dan talks a big game. Sometimes Don does too. I saw an old guy and a young little kid down there playing cornhole. Said, hey, let's take these guys. So they go down there. Long story short, it was 21-1. I think Dan and Don tucked the tail between the legs and walked away.
Oh, my goodness. You're having a good time, obviously, down here. Is this one of your favorite weeks of the year?
It is. We look forward to it. We plan this. I'll start planning next year shortly after the season's over.
No kidding.
So, yeah. Yep.
What happens down here that gets you guys the most prepared for the stretch you have coming up when you get back?
Well, it's the competitive games. It's looking at the best pitching that we can look at. Like we talked earlier, that when I talked to the tournament director, she'll say, how good are you guys going to be? And I say, we're going to be damn good, and we want to play the best teams. So that prepares us. And like what Don Farron allows me to do is we have the 14 league games. So he allows me to schedule the rest of the season. And we do it on purpose. We play Division I schools as much as we can to get ready.
All right. So the last question I have for you is kind of more selfish. What's on the menu tonight? Where are we going?
Where do you want to go? It's family night, so I don't have any kids here. So
me neither. We're hanging.
It's my wife and I, and you. What do you want to do?
Well, Lisa, where are we going to eat?
We're going to Ryan's.
What's Ryan's?
I have no idea.
Irish pub.
It's an Irish pub.
Because
I think she wants a Reuben.
I pegged her for an Italian, and then she and down said she's Irish, so that's why we're going.
Let's just say this. If I eat a Reuben, she probably won't let me sleep in the same bed as her tonight.
No, we got to keep you and Farron away from Reubens tonight. That's rule number one.
Yeah.
Priority numero uno. Jeff DeRose, Spanky, we love you. Appreciate you. We'll be back with more of the YSN Power Hour right after this.
It means the world to me to know that what we're doing is impacting people. And whether it's simply, I got to watch my son or daughter when I was out of town, or we just love watching YSN. We love what you do for our son or daughter. So whenever someone says thank you or someone is appreciative of what we're doing, it tells me everyone at YSN is doing what we initially set out to do, which is shine a light on these athletes and help them kind of promote themselves. My name's Anthony Hartwig, and my sports network is your sports network.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
For a great vehicle and a great experience, come to Boardman Mitsubishi today. As always, our full lineup of Mitsubishi models comes with a standard 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown Mitsubishi dealer since 1999.
Coca's Pizza, always supporting our community and our local athletes. Stop in on game day or score big and have it delivered right to your door. Check out our daily specials at cocaspizza.com. That's Coca's Pizza, we serve it hot.
At Hubbard.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Every one of our vehicles has undergone our own 126-point inspection, so it passes the most important inspection, yours. No other dealership has the extra inventory, gives you extra for your trade, and goes the extra mile for you. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. TJ Yoakley with you here on the Ysn Power Hour. I want to say thank you once again to South Range's very own Jeff DeRose and, of course, Don Farron, who sat down with me for the better part of about a half hour or so and talked shop and talked kind of the X's and O's from behind the curtain about why it's so important to come down to Myrtle Beach, why it's important to sign your team up for, to go on a traveling trip and to get them a little bit closer. I mean, to me, the proof is in the pudding with South Range by itself. I mean, you look at, they've been doing this for 11 years now, and last year a state championship run, and years prior state championship runs. But when you look at it, there's a lot of opportunity to grow closer throughout the year. And as they talked about, it's all because of these opportunities for a week for spring break to really take a break. And I'll tell you this, is they work very hard during the year in the gym, in the facilities, and then on the field. But they do play well too, and that's just not on the field. They actually get out and they go places together as a team, as individuals with their families. Families can enjoy this and make softball part of what your family does. Make baseball, make sports part of what your family does, and not just a chore. Everybody understands that there's a lot of commitment you have whenever it's you're waking up at 5 a.m. for those early morning workouts, and sometimes you have to go straight from there to school. But it really is, if you utilize it as an opportunity to better yourselves. I know in talking to Kelly Zolik, who's in the room over there, she wants to be an attorney. She wants to be in law. So she's looking at schools that have a great law program, and that's what it's about. It's not about just furthering her education to play a sport. It's the other way around. It's utilizing sports to get some money to get an education so she can do what she wants to do for the rest of her life. So that's my big thing. I'm a huge advocate for this. I know that some parents roll their eyes and say it's just more money that they have to dedicate to a program or things of that nature, but they use fundraisers and they use it the right way, because I think everybody is willing to kind of throw their hat in the ring for these fundraisers so they can have a good time for 1 week out of the year with their friends and their families. So kudos to South Range for doing it the right way. There's so many other schools that do this as well. I don't want to just put South Range on that pedestal and point to them and say they're the ones that do it the best or the most. But certainly it's the one that we're most known for, known to, because we get the invites to go hang out with them. Now, Salem, their boys, coming down and pardon me, coming down tonight. So, trying to get rid of this cough. Hang tight. Okay. So it's going to be interesting. I know Salem travels well as well. Derek Rhodes is going to be on the 1s and 2s for you. They'll have 3 games, 2 tomorrow and 1 on Friday, I believe, before they head back home. So it's again, it doesn't have to be an extended trip, but it's nice because you kind of get to let your hair down, those of you that have it, a little bit and enjoy it. You know, South Range Donnie did a great job of scheduling these, and Jeff as well, where it's 1 game a day for a week. So not much more to speak on today. We're going to have an abbreviated version of the YSN Power Hour, so we'll toss it over to our games, which we have, I think, tennis match already in progress, so we don't want to take too many of you from that. So we'll get right to our Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark to finish out the day. It's the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark, presented by our friends over in North Lima at Joe Dickey Electric. If you can't get to their campus, make sure you head on over to DickeyElectric.com and tell them YSN sent you. All right, so we alluded to it a little bit earlier that, Jeff DeRose kind of, de-escalated, I think is a proper word, de-escalated a situation today where parents were a little bit up in arms. And I got to get to the bottom of this, and I know it's going to take more than just me, but listen, at the end of the day, I know, you have a baby out there, boy, girl, whatever, and if they get plunked or they get hit by a pitch or something along those lines, it was an accident, relax, please, relax. You can't defend them from a lawn chair. That doesn't do any good to do that. Just take a breath, relax, understand that at the end of the day, nobody's trying to hurt your baby. Nobody's trying to upset the apple cart. Sometimes accidents happen, and sometimes they happen more than once. So just take a chill pill. You're in Myrtle. It shouldn't be that challenging to just take a deep breath and let it out slowly and just relax. Parents sometimes can get a little bit overexcited and overexcitable when things like that happen. And does it hurt when you get hit by a pitch? It sure does, but it's part of the game. When it's an obviously not injured situation, I think it was 0-2 the count, as a matter of fact, just relax. It's part of the game, and you're rewarded for taking a pitch. You get first base. So parents just need to take a chill pill. That's going to do it for our show today. I appreciate once again Mr. Jeff DeRose and Don Farron for checking in and allowing me to kind of take over their suite here in Myrtle Beach. And we will see you tomorrow on the YSN Power Hour, brought to you by our great sponsors. So long, everybody.